Have you ever wondered if batteries make sense for you and your solar system? I'm Warren Miller, the Director of Sales and Marketing with Paradise Energy Solutions.
And I'm Larry Byler, the Director of Estimating at Paradise Energy Solutions.
So, Larry, let's talk a little bit about why somebody would want to use batteries or some of the use cases of batteries.
Sure. Yeah, there's four primary use cases for batteries. Probably the one that's most well known is backup. So in the case where the grid goes down, there's no power that you can get from the grid, you can have your batteries to back up your loads. There's three other primary use cases that we would see. One is peak demand shaving. That's primarily for commercial customers where they would lower their peak demand and thereby save costs. And then self-consumption and zero export are probably more future coming down the road. So self-consumption is where a customer wants to use all of the power that they produce from their solar array. And so they'd have the batteries in a case where they're producing more than they use to use that power later. And then zero export is if the utility at some point in the future would not allow a customer to push that power back out to the grid. They could again store it for later use. Those are the four primary ones. I think the one that we focus on the most though is backup.
Great. And are there any incentives for batteries?
Yeah, so there's a few incentives for batteries. The largest one is the investment tax credit, which is the 26% federal tax credit. It's the same as it is for solar. So as long as a customer charges the batteries only from a solar array and not from the grid, not from a generator, only from the solar array, they should be able to get that full tax credit and depreciation just like solar. Now, there's also some state level incentives. Um, for example, in Maryland, they have a 30% state tax credit. So that might be available for some of our customers as well.
And if you choose to install your battery system after the fact, you install your solar now, and in a year from now or 2 years from now, you choose to install your batteries, are you still eligible for that federal tax credit?
Yes, typically as long as the system is set up to charge only from solar, you can typically get the full tax credit. But as always, consult with your tax advisor before you make that decision.
Absolutely. So if I make the decision, Larry, to go ahead and move forward with a battery system, what do I need to prepare before I talk to a solar consultant?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that you should be aware of before you look at a battery system. First of all, do you have, where are you going to get the money for this investment? Typically, battery systems start at about 15,000. So where will you get the money? Can you take advantage of the tax credits? And then also, what do you want to accomplish? With a backup system, what loads do you want to be able to back up? How long do you want to be able to back up those loads? So what are you looking to accomplish with the system? And that's very helpful in letting the installer know kind of what direction you want to go.
Great. And if somebody was interested in buying a battery system from Paradise Energy Solutions, what type of battery systems do we offer?
At this time, we only offer the lithium ion battery system. So flooded lead acid batteries, and there's some other battery chemistries are very popular, primarily for off-grid and in some cases for backup. But the reason why we offer only lithium ion is we feel that it provides the cheapest life cycle cost of any battery chemistry on the market, particularly for our customers in the residential and small commercial space. So even though a flooded lead acid battery may be significantly cheaper upfront, the lithium ion batteries are longer lasting. They allow for a higher depth of discharge and more cycles, no maintenance. They're less complex to design and install. So for those reasons, we believe that the lithium ion provides the best life cycle cost of any chemistry out there.
Yeah, great. You mentioned for grid-tied systems. What about off-the-grid systems? Does Paradise provide any off-grid systems?
So at this time, we don't do any off-grid systems. Off-grid systems typically require a lot more data to collect from the customer, significantly more higher engineering costs up front. And then in addition to that, we find that the vast majority of our customers are better off sticking with the grid. From a total cost perspective, stay with your grid and then have the batteries only in a backup situation.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for your expertise. So just to recap really quickly, most people use batteries for backup purposes. Don't forget that there are great incentives that come with batteries, including the federal investment tax credit, which is currently at 26%. And make sure you have the space for the batteries. And also keep in mind that at this time, we don't provide any off-grid systems, but we might do that in the future. So thanks again, Larry.